I was tagged in this Am I the A-hole thread from a woman. She says, advice needed. She says, am I the a-hole for wanting a smomortion because of what my husband did? She says, hey loves, I'm a mother of two beautiful girls. My oldest is 10, my youngest is 7. I'm 33. These days, I've been dealing with so much emotions that I don't know how to control. I can barely think. I'm hurt, but I'm getting through. 2 weeks ago, I found out my husband of 10 years cheated on me with my so-called best friend. They'd been seeing each other for how long? And I was so stupid to not realize, and that's why I'm being hard on myself. I thought I could trust her because for years she showed me loyalty, but that was all an act. I should have known when he started to go out often in the evening. What makes me more mad is that they both smiled in my face. I don't know how much I've cried about this, but I will say it's more than a million. I'm not with him now because the girls and I are at my mother's house. My youngest daughter doesn't know what's going on, but my oldest does, and I wish she didn't understand because I know she's hurt. I want a divorce as fast as possible, but I have to find a lawyer. My husband has been calling nonstop. He knows where we are, but I told him not to come because I need my space. Sorry for my ranting. The day I found out I was pregnant was the day I caught my husband and my friend in our bed together. I took a pregnancy test at work because I was feeling so sick. I was going to surprise him, but I was the only one surprised that day. The reason why I'm thinking about a smomortion is because I feel like if I have another baby with him, I will feel even more locked down. I'm an emotional mess. So what mom would I be if I brought a child into this world when I have mental health problems? Am I the a-hole? Edited. Hi everyone. Sorry for not responding to everyone, but I'm thankful for the sensible humans and their kind words. I have a doctor's appointment on Friday, so I will find out how many weeks I am. I will keep you guys updated. The first comment on this says, I think it's too late to have your husband smomorted, but I'd consider looking into divorce. And to that, I giggled. I definitely laughed. This is not a laughing matter, but that was kind of funny. This person says, I laugh way too much at this. Also, not the a-hole in any way. OP, do what feels right, follow your gut, and do not doubt yourself. Someone says, all jokes aside, OP, I'm so very sorry you're going through all this. You are not the a-hole in any shape or form, no matter what you decide. Sending hugs and positive vibes from an internet stranger. This person says, the difference between tied to that disgusting cheater is 18 years versus 11 more years, not the a-hole. Newborns are a ton of work and you'll be dealing with divorce and custody stuff. And somebody was like, right, exactly. Don't tie yourself to him for longer than you have to. And this last person that I'm going to do says 100%, it will further entrench yourself to being financially effed over. Not the a-hole. Get this smomortion and move forward. Do not tell him you're pregnant until long after you've recovered from the smomortion. That way he can't try to be controlling and force you. You have kids in your early 20s. Now they're older and have more mobility, and you can have a bit more time back for you. Being a single mom is hard. Yeah, don't add any more kids, basically. Y'all should know by now, I am very much pro-choice. I know that her emotions are all over the place, but pro-choice means taking the time to figure out the pros and cons of this decision. And if she really wants this baby, and, you know, to try to first get out of the inflammation of first seeing this, them cheating, and then really sitting down and thinking about, does she want to be a single mom and deal with this man? So I'm pro-choice. She should do what is best for her. So that's where I am. But y'all can jump in and let me know what you think about this. So this Reddit thread goes to communication and negotiating free time. Okay, let's just get into it. She says, my husband demands that I attend weekly dinners with his family. The whole word demands had me clutching at my pearls. Okay, she said, family dinner with the in-laws every Saturday. So she's 27, the husband is 31. I wonder what culture they are. Okay, my husband has been unwavering in his demand that I attend every single weekly Saturday dinner with his family since we got married 2 years ago. The dinners usually start at 5 p.m. and everyone lingers until about 9 or 10. If you leave before 9, you need to have a reason for your early departure. The weeks that I have not wanted to go have led to the biggest arguments we've ever had. And we don't really argue or fight about anything. We are both pretty reasonable people. He thinks I am being selfish with my time and not wanting to spend time with his family. His family questions him about my whereabouts on the rare occasions that I have not gone to these dinners. I think he is being unreasonable in expecting me to devote 4 hours of every Saturday to his family when I work 40 hours a week and like to decompress on the weekends and also see my family and friends and catch up on house chores, meal prep, grocery shopping. Saturdays were my favorite day of the week, and now I loathe them. His family is nice, but they are all older than me, late 30s to mid 40s, and the women are housewives and talk mostly about child rearing and grocery trips. Conversation is usually small talk and dead boring. I'm an introvert, and this is my personal hell. People are usually scrolling on their phones for the last hour until someone breaks the spell. What would you do in my situation? She says, update. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your feedback and advice. I really was not expecting all of these responses and have appreciated reading all of your varied perspectives and wisdom. It's so refreshing to feel validated and not crazy for not wanting to go every week. I will bring this up again with him and see if he is willing to compromise to less frequent dinners. If he is not, I will suggest counseling. Our relationship is happy aside from this, and I like his family. I'm just protective of my Saturdays because I work a demanding job and need to relax on the weekend, and I'm worried about how this would progress after children. I will update this post again after we talk about it. It is we get only so much time, energy, and resources. And yes, you do have to create some kind of boundary because sometimes people need to rest and your loved ones have to understand that. It is very, very selfish to think that he is going to have a chunk of every Saturday and she had a life before him. And if this doesn't get worked out, like she said, once kids get brought into it, it's going to be a terrible negotiation because then it's just going to continue to blow up. They have got to work this out. They have got to work it out. But let's see some of the comments. Someone says, question, how often do you see your family and does he attend every event? She says, I see my family weekly, and if he's free, he'll go too. He hasn't been over to see them since New Year's Eve. So he has choices in how he spends his time. She is supposed to go to his family. That is the difference. This person says, stop going. He can't make you. What does he do for you that's the equivalent? And she says, literally nothing. And the person says, so he does nothing for you and has expressly told you that your happiness is worth less than his, and you keep giving into him and going because, and she says, to avoid fighting. Aside from this, he is usually very loving and kind. Going to avoid fighting is coerced behavior, basically. If you're doing something to simply make sure that he doesn't have a tantrum, then you're not going of your free will. And then the person says, why do you need to avoid fighting? Is he usually loving and kind because he always gets his way and you never ask him to do anything and he doesn't want to do anyway? And she says, probably a little bit of that. I am pretty agreeable and very independent. I don't like to inconvenience people if I don't need to. And so this person says, so the only time you try to get him to respect your needs and wants, he guilt trips you, gives you the silent treatment, and is passive aggressive. It's really concerning that your response to that is to give in rather than to stand up for yourself. So she's setting the precedence that her needs don't really matter and that he can bully you into doing whatever he wants. And she says, I think you missed the fact that I tried advocating for what I wanted for years prior to giving in. It came to a point where I was just tired of fighting. And he's like, no, I didn't. Your response was to give in because he bullied you into it, because he won't tolerate not getting his way and doesn't care what you want. What were you looking to get out of this post? This person says, what were you looking to get out of this post? She says, apparently more bullying from strangers on the internet. And this person says, who is bullying you? Are you looking for people to tell you your husband's behavior is okay, or for you to get him to not be a prick to you? Because neither are solutions. You need to tell him that this behavior is unacceptable. And she just says, thanks for your advice. I too am wondering what she thought she was going to get out of this, because yes, she's just giving in, and obviously she's not happy about that, because otherwise why is she coming to Reddit? You guys go ahead and weigh in with your thoughts on this. The gall, the unmitigated gall, the audacity. This says, am I the a-hole for refusing to help my boyfriend's daughter after she blew all of her money? And I keep saying, whenever women do these am I the a-hole threads, they are simply looking for validation for feeling normal human emotions. So she says, this is a throwaway account to keep this away from my normal account. She says, my boyfriend, who's 41, has a daughter who's 18, who just went away to college. It's her freshman year, and she has a partially funded college fund from him and his ex-wife. His ex-wife had some health issues, and they agreed he would help pay for their daughter's living expenses in college. He wanted to give it to her in a lump sum. I told him it was a bad idea and to give her whatever she needs for her living expenses every month, or even pay her rent directly for her. He disagreed and said she was responsible and she's not my child, so I didn't have anything else to say after that. He gave her around $8,000, which was meant to last until May. She's also getting some from her mom. She called my boyfriend for money last week, and he asked where all her money went. Apparently, she's joined a modeling agency that was a scam, because she paid $4,000 for them to take photos of her and promised she would make her money back. They did the photo shoot and she got the photos, but then they stopped responding to her messages. My boyfriend was shocked and angry at her, but she said she didn't know, and now she doesn't have enough money for rent. He wants me to help cover her for the next month because he was out of money. I told him I'm not responsible for her, and he didn't listen to me when I said give it to her month by month. We've been arguing about it because my boyfriend seems to think because I'm dating him, I have a responsibility to his kid and he will pay me back, so there's no reason why I'm refusing. I don't have a child, and I don't think by dating someone I've inherited responsibility for their child. However, back up here, when she said I told him that it was a bad idea to give her whatever she needs for her living expenses every month, or even pay her rent directly. She said he disagreed and said that she was responsible and she's not my child. So I didn't have anything else to say after that. So he said that this is not her child. So why is he now saying that she should fork over some money? No, you're not the a-hole. Absolutely not. And I know most of the people are going to say not the a-hole, but I'll still read some of these. This person says, oh, hell no, not the a-hole. He tells you it's none of your business when you give him sound advice, and then he expects you to bail him out after he didn't take it. That's not how it works, Daddy-o. Exactly. And then the OP says, he didn't tell me it was none of my business. He disregarded what I said. So I thought to myself, well, she's not my child anyway. I won't butt in since he clearly doesn't want to hear it. And then the person responded with, okay, but he inferred it was none of your business by disregarding you. Not as bad, but still not your responsibility to fix. And truthfully, I think that that's enough of this, because no, she's not the a-hole. It's not her child. It's not her responsibility. Daddy made a very terrible decision, and now this daughter is going to have to work get a job or something since she blew her money. This is a good lesson for the both of them to you have to teach your child financial responsibility a little bit at a time. Giving her so much money and she's never lived on her own is absolutely silly. You guys go ahead and weigh in on this one. So this post is from the guy's perspective of, a couple that is thinking about, or at least he's broached his woman, his girlfriend, becoming a stay-at-home mom. And he has since deleted his page. I don't know why. Okay, but he says, am I the a-hole for being offended? My girlfriend said I will abuse her if she becomes a stay-at-home mom. He says, my girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years and living together for 2. We are discussing marriage and when it would likely happen. I'm a software engineer and so is she. We both make 6 figures, so money isn't much of an issue. And we each own our own home, although we are living in mine and renting hers out. She has been really tired with work and complains about being tired. I've told her once we have kids, she can be a stay-at-home mom, and she told me there is no way she would agree to that. I just assume she wants her own career and left it at that. But one of her friends is thinking of being a stay-at-home mom, and she and her have been talking over the phone and in person. And she one day over the phone told her, "Don't do it. He's going to be abusive, and then your life will be ruined. At least work part-time so your job will accommodate." I asked her later on if her friend's husband is abusive, and she said, "Not yet." I asked her what she meant, and she believes that if one person has financial power over the other, they will no longer respect the other person and probably end up abusing them. I was shocked. She thinks this and asked her if that's why she refuses to be a stay-at-home mom, and she said yes. I asked her why she thinks I would abuse her, and she said she doesn't think I would abuse her now or if we remain working and have our own assets. But men are told so much about how women are only after their money, they don't see or appreciate the work stay-at-home moms have to do. Since since according to her, most guys do not appreciate it anyway and just feel like they are being used for their money, they will lose respect for their partner and begin to resent them. I told her I know how much work it is to be a stay-at-home mom, and she got mad and said I'm just paying lip service. And guys always say that until they have to pay for their wife as a dependent, which is when they get resentful. They see them making money as their authority and will begin making decisions without their wife's input. She said she knows so many stay-at-home moms that have their lives ruined when they quit a good paying job to stay at home, and then they have to go back to work years later when their husbands lose respect for them and cheat on them. She says she knows it's happening so many times. She knows she'll be crazy not to learn from them and keep working. I got mad and told her just because she has trust issues doesn't mean guys are monsters, and we actually do not mind taking care of a woman who is staying at home with our children. She said lip service is easy to pay and refused to talk about it anymore. So this is the reason why sharing our stories is so important. Women are learning from these stories, and women should definitely take precautions because you never know if something is going to end, and we all need to be able to survive on our own. You see so many times where these men are talking about, she took half of my stuff. And if a woman hasn't been working, then these men feel more like it is all of their stuff, as if this woman didn't sacrifice her whole career just to stay at home. So I can understand why giving up a six-figure career would be like, nope, get someone else to do it. I understand. This person says, it seems to me there's a deeper issue at play here, a fundamental disconnect on how both of you view the dynamics of financial dependency and power within a relationship. I would suggest opening up a conversation about mutual support and shared roles that aren't contingent on traditional gender expectations. Perhaps both of you could explore the idea of alternating who might stay at home should the need arise, or even setting up a system where you both contribute to a joint emergency fund. Ensuring financial parity and independence regardless of who earns is essential. Both parties feel secure and valued financially and emotionally. That was a very, very mature comment. This person says, I'm an engineer. I've seen this scenario play out a dozen or more times from either side. It's never the jerks you see doing this, just the nice guys who suddenly feel the pressure of being the sole provider, then make their work more of a priority. So when they have to work in the morning, they're not getting up at night with the kids. If she needs help, there is resentment and animosity because he's snapping more from stress at work. She's shorter with him, with less grace to give out because she's burdened at home. If he has to stay out and work or network, she needs to deal with it, and she's waited to talk to an adult and interact or get a break all day. It's an imbalanced an imbalanced relationship like this is doomed without malicious intent. Just what happens over time. The only success I've seen with this is when the wife was getting a salary of her own from the husband's income. She set herself up with a little business as a concierge helper and even paid taxes so she could have benefits. This person says 100%. The girlfriend isn't really wrong. My dad is a nice guy engineer, and my mom is a stay-at-home mom with all the kids gone. Whenever they argue, my dad threatens her with divorce, saying she'll get nothing or considerably less than she gets now. They have a horribly codependent relationship in a ton of ways, but money and power with money is one of the main ones. OP isn't going to win this with, but I'm a nice guy. He'll win it by respecting his girlfriend's decision to continue working and doing what makes her feel safe and secure, and agreed. They need to get on the same page before marrying and having kids. And someone says, that's your dad. And you and his girlfriend are both wrong because you assume all men who provide will be the same. And it doesn't matter what people think. Women need to be, what these people think. Women need to be able to survive. And we've seen it play out too many times when men have to pay alimony or pay something to support a woman. He thinks that he is getting half of his stuff taken away and not really wanting to consider the wife has actually helped support or sacrificed her career for this relationship as well. And I'll end it with this. Very well put. Yeah, most people, even with good intentions, can F this up. Both sides only see their side and think the other is abusing, at least in a tiny bit, right deep into their mind. Breadwinners feel stay-at-home moms don't know anymore the stress of a real job and not wanting or not, they feel the money is more theirs. Stay-at-home moms sometimes disregard the stress of being the sole money provider and downplay their contributions at home. OP, if she doesn't want this, you suggest it with good intentions. I'd leave it aside if I were you. Nah, I agree with that because it is stressful on both sides. Raising kids is stressful. Having all of the money issues on your back is stressful. This is not a good situation if people are not on the same page. You guys go ahead, weigh in on this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.